I have Mystic Boost at least. Oh, dude,
Yeah, that's good.
am I dead? I think I'm dead. Yeah, I'm dead.
We really underestimated the map.
Hey, what's poppin', sexies? It's your boy Tacho here, back for some more Fire Emblem Heroes, and we are continuing this little journey on 8th raids for the week. Today, we have a special guest. We have ZeShado on the channel, making his first appearance as a guest commentator. How you doing, ZeShado?
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for bringing me on, man. Glad to be here.
Oh, absolutely, man. You've been killing it with the showcases lately. I love watching your showcases because they're so simple and to the point, so well edited. It's just, like, compared to the showcases I was doing, which is boring commentary over, like, stock standard meta gameplay. No one really cares too much about that. They like the fun videos, the nice showcases, and the edits, I think, really help yours out a lot, too. So, definitely awesome stuff. Yeah. So, anyways, if you're not familiar with how I've been doing these, we're just going to go ahead and take a look at my defense replay for today's session in 8th Raids. Yesterday we took a look at these two. So we have a new one, and it looks like it's actually a full loss. Luckily, I didn't lose any lift, though, but let's go ahead and take a look at what happened here. Okay, so...
Of course, to Elimine.
Yeah, Elimine. What are your thoughts on Elimine, by the way?
Oh, I can't believe they released a unit like her into the meta. Like, I really can't believe it. Like, she's so good. But I also find that, like, it's gonna be hard to fit her on, like, some of my, like, already established teams. Unless I have, like, I have to look back at, like, one of them, because I think one of them already has a flame on it, so I could probably switch it out like that. But for the rest of them, like, Gale Force, for example, like, I already have, like, a bunch of other teams, for that, so I don't think I really need her specifically.
Uh-huh.
But outside of that, yeah, no, she is a really, really crazy unit, and I'm really hoping we get like a free copy because I kind of want two just to mess around with.
Just to have the double false start, that's pretty nasty. Yeah, because I was thinking, like, one way you could possibly deal with her is to have two units that she would want to false start, so they have to make a choice. Like, let's say you had two copies of Bride Catria, you could theoretically get away from Elimine that way. But it's like, what if they have two Elimines? Then you're kind of boned there. So...
Yo, actually, because, yeah, I did run it, like, when I was running, Elimine on Aether Raids, like, the other day, like, there were instances where there was, like, a Legendary Sigurd and then a Bridal Catria, so I had to pick and choose. So it's not, like, completely foolproof, but, like, it is kind of cheesy, you know?
Yeah, totally. Now, I feel like I might be the only person that is not, like, completely blown away by this unit, because, of course, she's really good. False Start is gotta be the best status effect in the game right now, I feel, because it just shuts down so many things. On top of all of this, like, not only does she do False Start and grant blessing bonuses, but she also grants defense and res up 6, and also she has the Flame effect with close and distant guard built in just for good measure, so... It's really hard to argue with her as a support option, especially on save ball teams like we're seeing right here. But I personally feel like once we start getting better ways to inflict false start, that's when things are going to get nuts, because, like I said, false start is probably the best status effect right now, and she can only inflict it to, on my team in particular, like one unit choice pretty much, unless she goes over here, which... there wouldn't really be much of a point in using false start on either of these two, because they don't really get start of the turn effects. Like, I guess Larachel's probably the best choice here, because I have odd recovery on her. But specifically, like, a 4-lane cav line like this, there's not really too many targets for Elimine to hit with false start, which is why I tried to make a team like this that's not as weak to Elimine as most other teams were. But, yeah, I'm thinking, like, wait till we get a unit that inflicts false start with the Reeve effect, where it's like, target the foe on the enemy team with the least amount of whatever stat, maybe attack, maybe defense, it doesn't matter, and then also any target enemies that are within 2 spaces of that enemy. So it's like you could potentially false start their entire team that way. That's when I think it's going to get really crazy.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree. I think we're gonna get like a what? Actually, correct me if I'm wrong, but was Milla before or after Bride Fjorm?
Milla was after.
Oh, okay. Because I'm thinking we're gonna get like a seasonal variant of Elimine in some regard. Because you know how like we have isolation on like Astra with like Fjorm, and then on Lit you have it with Milla. I think we're gonna get another seasonal or some kind of refine. Because I think Bride Fjorm is due for a refine sooner or later. So I don't know if they're gonna give her a false start, for example, but I do think like eventually we're going to get it on a non-mythic or legendary unit, and by that point it's just going to be everywhere.
That's actually a really good point with the Bride Fjorm refine. I completely dismissed that unit because I haven't used her in ever, like for ages now. But yeah, if she gets a refine, they could give her false start in some way, because if you look at what they did with Loki, they gave her so many status effects when really all she had was gravity at first. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. I didn't think about that. Okay.
I think it's just going to be really fun in general.
Yeah, like they could do so many things with that Bride Fjorm, actually, if I think about it. Okay, so this is not what I want to see on my defense team, because I feel like I've stacked my team so much to deal with Ascended Fjorm. I have Witchy Wand on Larichel to remove her ability to use Ice Mirror. Then I have Lysithea, who can Brave Attacker. I have Guard, by the way, on all of my cavalry units. It's all in an attempt to lock down Ice Mirror. But I still took a full loss from this, so that's already a bad sign. Let's see what happens here. Alright, so he's got Brave Lucina to provide the passive breath effect.
So that can bypass the guard. Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, there's not really much you can do to stop save ball teams, which is kind of a disappointment. I mean, especially when I've stacked my team against it this much, but I guess it just is what it is.
Well, hopefully we'll get a counter of some kind in the future, because I do think saves are, like, if they were implemented, like, way more painfully, like, I feel like they're good. Like, if they were to, like, make them adjacent, for example, instead of, like, within two spaces, I feel like that'd be a lot more balanced.
Yeah, for sure.
I do think we'll probably get some sort of counter in the future, but I guess for now, like, saves are pretty much here to stay.
Yeah, like, look at this, man. This leg jarn should have tore through that Fjorm right there, but we didn't. And then Ninja Korin with her Brave Attack. I'm surprised she couldn't kill this Fjorm right here. Wow.
Oh, wow.
We did 0 damage on the second hit. That's nuts. Yeah, so, I mean, I have the catapult over there. I can't recall if this guy had his safety fence in this slot, in slot 2, but all season I've just been hitting catapult, or hitting safety fences left and right with this slot 2 catapult.
I might have to switch my catapult to lane 2 as well, because I also put mine in lane 2. I just find it way more convenient.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's also just a popular slot.
Yeah, it seems to be either slot 2 or slot 5. Alright, here we go again with Leg Jarn.
Crazy.
Yeah, that
38-39 attack speed. It's still not enough.
Yeah, that just goes to show how overtuned Fjorm is as a far save unit.
Oh, it's so wonderful, but at the same time, so, like, why?
Yeah, exactly. Alright, so Oter is like my last hope here, but not really expecting much. I know he can beat Pirate Surtur with a near save, but I'm not too sure how he does against Brave Edelgard here. Let's find out. Alright, Gatekeepers.
You should do a lot with the Gatekeeper support, right?
Yeah, well, I hope so. I mean, we took a full loss here, so apparently it wasn't enough, but I still want to see the number. Alright, so this Edelgard gets damage reduction on the second hit, right?
Yep. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's not enough. And then her HP, I bet you she's got summoner support too. Because her HP is looking pretty thick there. Yep.
Yeah, it's a stacked Edelgard.
Oh my god, I mean, what can you do? A +10 Brave Edelgard is not really much. That's whale territory.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so I'm pretty much boned here. Gatekeeper by himself. Alright, but yeah, I guess if ever there was a showcase to just point out the obvious of how ridiculous save skills are, then this is definitely the replay for that.
Fully agreed.
What kind of defense team are you running, actually?
I actually run like 5 Duma on my Astra defense or Anma defense because I think it's just funny. Like I've kind of like given up the idea of just trying on Astra. And then like I kind of do this thing where like on light season I'll like play to get into Vault of Heaven and then maybe take like the week off from like Aether Raids and just have fun with the Duma defense. But that's usually about it. Sometimes it gets wins. Usually it's just more for like fun. And usually whenever it gets kills, it's like, oh wow, that happened. And it's like, that's pretty much it.
It's pretty legit though, honestly, like 5 Dumas, because you can possibly just break all of their structures on the bottom, and then how much true damage is that? Like 7 times 5? That's 35 HP chip at the start of the turn.
Yep.
And then whatever unit you have besides the 5 Dumas getting like, what, 25 HP and then 15 attack? It's pretty...
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it gets pretty bonkers. Alright,
so it's usually like... Oh, sorry?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, like, usually it just becomes like one big cheese sort of thing. Where, like, you either can take out the big super unit or that's it. But most of the time they can't because they have, like... They also have blessing buffs and stuff, so it's, like... Not the biggest cheese, but it's fun.
Yeah, so, absolutely. I've always seen like the final boss defense setups where they got 5 mythic heroes and then one guy that's just standing there menacingly. I always love those. Okay, so this is our first fight of the day. We are up against the Cav line here, so I went ahead and brought my own save skill team.
Very nice.
All right, how do you like this Hatari Azura, by the way? Best dancer in the game.
She has a lot of stats going for her. It's bonus season right now, right?
What
was that, 72? Yeah, that's a lot. And that's unmerged as well.
Yep.
Like, wow.
I do have the plus attack super boon, but I mean, I like running double Fury on her because she can end up taking a lot of chip damage and then lead into Wings of Mercy like that. So she's a pretty good pivot to have. And then she hits so hard, she can actually kill a lot of things on the player phase.
I really do like that Wings of Mercy setup as well. I'm kind of surprised they gave her like an HP conditional for like the additional offenses when she came with Fury 4. That's what kind of confused me a bit.
Okay, this Pirate Hinoka might have a good matchup against Fjorm if she initiates on me, so I don't know if I want to overextend that much just yet. We're going to go ahead and do it like this for now. Let's see.
You shouldn't get the double if she has weapon triangle advantage, right?
Yeah, she gets the Brave if she has color advantage. She's not going to have that on Fjorm, though, but still, I mean, she has effective against armor regardless, so it's... I don't want to play with fire, you know?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay, I think I'm going to break this street lamp over here so we can just get closer access to the fountain later on. Alright, let's see what happens here. Interesting that he had Mirabilis in slot 7 there. Because normally you want the dancer to, you know, dance. But...
Right.
I don't know, I guess whatever. Alright, so we get gravity inflicted by Little Sister there. Oh man, if I had Azura where Regan is, I could have just killed Selena there, but it's okay.
You can probably pop her with like a dance and then retreat with the Kanto.
Or what I'm thinking is swap with Sir and then have her over there, have her attack, and then I can cancel back a little bit, dance with Azura, and then kill Thrasir and just get rid of both of those guys.
Oh, that's even smarter.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure, like, if I do that, there's not going to be any Mirabilis shenanigans to look out for on this side. Yeah, and then these two have gravity on them, so... this could be a trap. Alright, yeah, I think I'm just going to go ahead and do this.
Better safe than sorry.
Yeah, I like to mix it up. I don't just... Even when I'm playing save skill balls, I just try to player phase whenever I get the chance to. Because you want to be the... Yeah, you want to be the one dishing out the attacks. You don't want to be just taking hits all day.
Right. I have, like... As much as I don't want to admit, I've run into instances where I'm so used to just ending turn with saves to the point where sometimes the save unit gets overwhelmed and they actually lose.
Yeah, you got to be careful. All right, so no Tempest skill on Seiros there, so we're pretty lucky. All right, Cecilia, pretty good unit actually with her Refine. She can catch a lot of units off guard.
I think she'd be really good on light or dark season, just because of all the light mythics, like Peony, Milla, which she has color advantage for. Who else am I missing?
Air.
Air. Yeah, that's right. Thank you. Yeah, she does have a lot of coverage for that, so I do think there is a lot of value to building a Cecilia for sure.
Okay, so I can actually player phase this Seiros, and I'm going to get Gale Force, but I don't know if this is the real trap or the fake trap or what. And then I don't want to also overextend and then get punked by Hinoka. And this guy's kind of far out of the way, so hold on. Okay, she has aerobatics. It's not going to be able to jump, though, so I can actually do this, and then I can pull my unit back.
And then Fjorm should be able to take out the Hinoka.
At least that's what I hope.
I know Hinoka's deceptively fast, even with the Speed Bane. I don't think there's been any instance... Oh, she doesn't even have a Speed Bane, it's attacking.
Yeah, minus attack plus HP.
I just know that she... I've always struggled to just double her or just prevent doubles from her. Even with extra support and stuff. She is really, really good.
Yeah, oh, she's way better now too with the Hatari Azura, so you can actually use the Harmonize skill to refresh her.
Oh, right. So she can even be more of a menace in arena and arena modes.
Yeah, more so in player duels, I would say. I think
that would be a really good place too, yeah.
Yeah, I think we've got this one in the bag, so I'm gonna... Let's just... Yeah, there's no way Mirabilis is beating Regan. And then we can just go ahead and do this. Even if this is the trap, doesn't even matter. And it wasn't, so... I was scared for no reason. Alright, sometimes... I mean, we covered this in another episode this week, but... sometimes it's best to just go in and not think.
I like that approach.
Yeah, it's always best to take action instead of thinking out your moves. Oh, somebody also commented on one of the other videos why am I not using the boost in any of these fights? And there's only one reason why. It's because if I were to use the boost, I could only do a certain number of fights a day. But since this is a video, I want to get as many fights in as I can.
Right, that makes sense for sure.
Yeah, so alright, we got this guy over here, Manic Glint. I like the accessory he has on this Lyn there. Alright, Lyn...
Oh, that doesn't look too bad.
Yeah, this one's pretty easy, too. At least at a glance. Let's see here. Alright, so we got a classic... What a throwback. So we have a Rally Trap Ophelia with Dancing Micaiah. What is this, 2017? All right, then Thracer. Man, this really is 2017. Look at this Brave Lynn. Haven't seen her in a long time. And then
I
we
can
have,
respect it.
Yep, Duo Peony as well. Okay, so both pots are right there. They're all out in the open. It doesn't look threatening at all, to be honest. Let's see. Hold on.
Oh, there's no duos hindrance at all either.
That's a good point. Too bad I don't have any teams that really abuse duo skills anymore, because, I mean, duo's hindrance is so common that I just decided to stop using duo skills altogether. But, yeah, that would be really clutch to have right now. There are the occasional duo Altinas that still rear their head now and again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking, like, do something like this where I have Yuri alongside a far save unit like Hector, for example, so I can actually player phase this Ophelia, ignore if this is a trap or not, and then have him Kanto out of the way. Oh, okay, Duma has armored boots, though, so I actually would need double save skills to actually do what I just said there.
Right. Although, wait, how much does the healing tower heal for?
10.
Oh, well, if the AoE hits him, he should probably not be able to reach the armor boots threshold. But I don't know if... Well, it shouldn't be too much of a risk.
Right, but I don't have Blazing on Yuri, so...
Oh, sorry. I'm so used to, like, seeing, like, AoEs on him, so it's like...
Yeah. No, that's totally the build that people run in Summoner Duels, so I've gotten used to seeing that, too. I actually do have the build available. I run it in Summoner Duels, but for specifically 8th of raids, since you can't have Special Spiral, I just decided to stick with Glimmer for here.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, so, okay, let's see here. I love how I open the fight and I'm like, oh, this is easy mode, and then all of a sudden I'm thinking now, so joke's on me, I guess. Yeah, man, I really just want to player phase Ophelia, because even though I could far save her with what's-her-face, Ascended Fiorm, she still doesn't like taking damage from Blazing Specials, so...
You could actually do a pretty big chunk.
Or what I could do is just allow her to hit me and then have Fiorm not in range of Blazing Wind. So Blazing Wind is the cross section, right? It's every adjacent unit from the target?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I can do is put a unit there and then have Ascended Fiorm there, so Blazing Wind doesn't get her.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah, I think that's probably the move. Alright, we'll bring Surtur as well. Pirate Surtur. I've been shilling for this guy so much. I think I'm the only one that suggested he be an option for A Hero Rises 2022. Because I feel like I'm the only one that has this guy. And he's so good. He's such a good near save unit.
I really wish I had one, honestly. Like, I also had a Gustav, and they're pretty much the same unit, just like different color. But I ended up sacking my Gustav to Arden at the time because I really liked Arden, and when he got his like whole thing going for him, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna build Arden.
Yeah, no, dude, his refine was awesome.
Oh yeah, what a treat!
It's not only that too, but Arden's stat line, if you remember, because he came out, he was one of, actually, I think he was the Grand Hero Battle, or was he a Tempest Trial Prize unit after the Burger King came out? So
yeah,
the thing about Arden is that they didn't really balance his stat distribution around the idea of there being save skills. So he just has this monster HP stat coupled with like all these other shenanigans. He's got massive attack and defense, and then speed and res are dump stats, but that's not a big deal for him now that we have save skills. So yeah, like he actually ate well this year from his refine. It's pretty nuts.
It's so funny how like one skill can just change the entire meta and just an entire unit. It's really nice, but also kind of scary if you think about it, because they can keep introducing all these new skills that just completely flip the meta on its head.
Yeah, exactly. Like Kanto, for example. I mean, can you remember when Kanto came out? I remember when Regan first came out, I was telling everyone, dude, Kanto does not belong in this game. I get it for the main games because the maps are a lot bigger, but look at Regan. She has 3 movement already because she's a cavalry unit. And then she has Kanto 3, so potentially she can move 6 spaces. So let's say you had her over here, she moves over here, she breaks a structure or whatever. She could then move all the way to the other section of the map. I think that's pretty bananas in a game like this where the maps are so tiny.
I think it's why we haven't really gotten any more Kanto 3 units, from what I remember, outside of Oder. But I think that was also, like, because he was pre-established with it, unless I'm misremembering.
No, he had it ever since he was in the data mines, so we kind of figured he would have it.
But it's so unbalanced.
Yeah, for real. Especially in Summoner Duels, it's just, like, super unfair.
Oh, wow, she doubles.
Yeah, but I think I'm okay. Or maybe not. Uh-oh. Alright, at least we...
Oh, wow.
I have Mystic Boost at least. Oh, dude,
yeah, good.
Am I dead? I think I'm dead. Yeah, I'm dead.
We really underestimated the map.
Yeah, or I did. I mean, big dummy me, right? It's like, oh, look at this 2017 map, and then there I go getting killed. Alright, let this be a lesson to you kids out there. Don't just eat glue. You want a player phase. Like the thing I was talking about earlier where I wanted to at least get some KOs in with Yuri to make it easier on my save skill units when they're baiting. You don't want shenanigans like that to happen to you. Alright, so
yeah.
Shoutouts to that dude. I mean, he got a well-earned win there, so no complaints from me. Alright, so this time we have Chitora from Japan, whatever that means. Alright, I always love seeing this when they box their own unit in. It's like, okay, thank you for the free unit. Alright, we got Seiros Atri. Alright, Ares at +9. Don't see him too often. Alright, then there's Oter. You have Leone and then Alm. Alright, no dancers, so this guy does have Vantage though, so I would want to make sure not to give him any chip damage. Actually, I'm kind of afraid of Atri, to be honest. This unit is really dumb. Her B skill is probably the best B skill.
She's a very scary unit.
Dude, it inflicts... listen to this. Inflicts all stats -4 on the foe. Reduces damage from their first attack by 30%. There's no stat check on that. It's just guaranteed 30% DR. And then she gains bonus attack based on the damage she reduces. Like, for real, dude? Isn't that a little too much for one skill?
Pretty wild.
Yeah, like, compare that to the infantry units with their spurn and dodge and whatever, where they have to beat the enemy on a speed check already. Like, speed is one of the highly stacked stats in the game, so it's already up in the air if you're even going to win the stat check. And then, even after that, they only get 40% DR, and that's it. Compared to this, where she's getting DR, stats, inflicting debuffs on the foe, and then the bonus damage. It's just too much.
Yeah, she is deceptively bulky.
Yeah, I run close counter on her in Summoner Duels, because she beats like half of the... Not even half, like more than half of the melee units. She just beats them if they try to attack her.
That's actually really cool. I might actually try that. That sounds really fun.
Yeah, because, like, you can hide and camp behind your far save unit, like Brave Hector or Theorm or whoever it is, and then, like, normally what they do is they try to pick you off with melee range units, so stuff like Brave Erica, Legendary Erica, and etc. But then if Atri has her B skill, they can't actually kill her, so it's pretty funny. Alright.
I'm kind of scared of the Duma personally, because just on the off chance that, like, you don't kill one of the units, he's gonna swoop in, because he has Wings of Mercy.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make sure not to let that happen, though.
Fair enough.
Alright, we have the fence. I mean, I totally get why they invented the fence, but at the same time, it's like... So they invented the safety fence because, obviously, Legendary Sigurd with his nonsense, and then you could stack him with Pathfinder and, like, all that other stuff. It was really out of hand what they did with that. But to answer that with the safety fence, I think was not really the best idea, because the safety fence in and of itself is already pretty broken. Like, look at this. This guy's team is completely at my mercy. I already got a free kill, and now I'm going to get another one. It's a little too good.
Yeah, it seems a bit unfair. And it's kind of weird, because they did... I don't know if they wanted, like, an immediate solution or not, but it's not as if they haven't been releasing Legendary Sigurd counters anyway. Like, we got a free one in Reeve. So it's like... I don't know. Maybe they just wanted... It's hard to say. It's really hard to say what they were really trying to accomplish.
Yeah, because, I mean, I get the fence against Sigurd, but then it's not like every single team is running Sigurd, so the fence is just, like, needlessly OP, I think.
Oh yeah, hard agree. Hard agree.
It's always nice to be able to player face stuff.
Yuri is just a fun unit, to be honest. As broken as he is really fun.
Yeah. Did you play the Ashen Wolves thing in Three Houses?
I did, actually. I really did enjoy it. I know there were some issues with it that people didn't like, but for what it was worth, I thought the experience was kind of fun. I didn't end up using most of the DLC though. I really just wanted the extra side story stuff mainly. I never used the maid outfits or the extra auxiliary maps or anything. But maybe if I replay Three Houses one day, I'll take advantage of that.
Oh, so you didn't get the DLC for the waifus, is what you're saying?
Oh yeah, no, I wanted the map.
Yeah, so no bikini Edelgard for you, huh?
No, maybe next time. With I don't know, what was it? Three Hopes? Maybe they'll add it there.
Right. Okay, so let's talk about that for a little bit. So we had the Nintendo Direct the other day, and there were so many leaks. I don't know if you keep up with leaks or whatever, but we had so many leaks talking about how, the next big Fire Emblem game is going to be at the Nintendo Direct, and they're gonna reveal what was it? It was supposed to be a combo remake game of two previous titles. So it was going to be either 4 or 5 combined into one game, or 6 and 7, or 9 and 10. And then that's completely not what it ended up being. It was just friggin' Fire Emblem Warriors 2 Electric Boogaloo. So...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like... sorry?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I feel like this was probably the most left field choice they could make. I'm not saying it was a bad one by any means. But I also felt like anyone really saying that, we're going to get a remake of, maybe Genealogy or et cetera, was kind of obvious. That was, an obvious kind of picking. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, though, I actually did enjoy Fire Emblem Warriors 1, even though it's... Have you played Hyrule Warriors, by the way?
I did, and I also played Fae Warriors. I did like it.
Yeah, I liked it too, but I feel like Hyrule Warriors was actually done a lot better than Fire Emblem Warriors was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it just felt like they put a little more love and effort into it, because Fire Emblem Warriors it felt more like the basis was on the extra stuff you could do, like the story mode and the... What do they call it? The Grand History mode or something like that? And
was that the one where, you can play as the 8-bit Link or something, and you go across all those, mini objectives or something?
Right, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, so they had that in Fire Emblem Warriors, and I feel like that was where they put most of the effort into, as opposed to Hyrule Warriors, which I feel like on a bigger scale, it had more to do in it. There was this more characters for one. I think the roster was more varied and bigger in Hyrule Warriors, and then also we got a bunch more. We definitely got more DLC for Hyrule Warriors, and just overall more content, I felt. So I was a little disappointed that Fire Emblem Warriors wasn't as fan servicey, I guess you could say. They didn't give as much effort into that one as they did to Hyrule Warriors, but I still enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun game.
Right.
Yeah, so now we're getting the Fire Emblem Warriors 2, and it's going to be all based on 3 houses, as if we didn't get enough 3 houses in Fire Emblem Heroes, right? So, we're just stuck in Fodlan forever.
Oh, man. I don't remember, like, the original Warriors selling all too well, although, like, I don't know the statistic. I just never really heard much of the sales numbers, but I guess it did well enough to warrant a sequel.
Yeah. That's a surprise, too. I wouldn't have expected a sequel for Fire Emblem Warriors, but I guess here we are. Well, maybe because they threw the 3 houses characters into it, they're a little more confident that it's going to sell. Because, like, oh, they know their audience. They know people are spending thousands of dollars to get that +10 Fallen Edelgard in Heroes. So it's like, okay, we'll just put Fallen Edelgard in a new game and make them spend $60 on that.
Fair point. I really like the new designs that they're going with. Mm-hmm. I think they look really good.
Yeah, the graphics in Fire Emblem Warriors were actually pretty cool. Like, that's one of the good things about the game is it looks awesome. It's just almost therapeutic in a way to just mow down like 500 guys with one dude. I don't know. Something about that is just kind of funny to me. But
it's a fun time for sure.
I just really hope it's not all 3 houses characters. Like, at least in the DLC, I want to see Ike. I really want to play as Ike in a Warriors game.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, because I don't know. They left out a whole bunch of fan favorites from the first game. Like, we could have had Ike, we could have had Hector, we could have had Ephraim, and all the classics, but it's like, nope. We're just getting all of these sword units. So we got Lyn, we got Celica, Marth. I don't know. The cast was really boring in the first Warriors game.
Hopefully with, like, DLC or something, they'll add them. But I don't really know what their, like, game plan is with this, because it seems like they're just going to be focusing on, like, the 3 houses, like, side story, or I guess it's not even a side story, it's like an alternate, like, universe sort of thing.
Uh-huh.
So I don't exactly know, like, what they're going to do with, like, the character roster. Like, I can fully expect to see every student in the game, whether or not they're playable in some capacity.
Yeah, that's a good point. Also, I wonder if, like, the time skip characters are going to be completely different characters. Like, let's say you get Ingrid in one of the parts, and then later on you get time skip Ingrid. Is she going to have a different moveset, or, like, how's that going to work?
I think there's a lot of potential.
Yeah, there actually is, now that I think about that. You know what they probably would do? It's just, like, let's say, again, if they had Ingrid, like, from before the time skip, the time skip version would probably just be an alternate costume, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And just keep the same moveset.
I could probably see that.
Yeah, so, okay, one final thing before we wrap. I just want to talk a little bit about Summoner Duels. So, what's your take on this mode? Because it feels like this one has really divided the community.
I, like, kind of like it, but I can also see the, what I'm blanking on the word. Like, I can see why people don't like it, because, like, one of the fun things about, like, regular Summoner Duels is that you can use your favorite units whether or not, like, you'll win. Like, eventually you'll rank up to a certain point that you want. Like, I've been using, like, Laszlo, for example, in Summoner Duels, and I'll be honest, he's not the best in the mode, but I can get to a point where, yeah, I can make it to, like, maybe, like, a high rank and, like, feel good about that. Here, it's like, I kind of have to do, like, meta stuff. I have to do specific things in order to get a desirable score, which I can see why people don't really like that, although I do kind of like the competitive aspect of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's where a lot of people are at, because for most people, I shouldn't say most, but there are a lot of people that play the game that are in it for the competition and they want to compete with other people. So yesterday I had Marbles on the channel, and we brought up this point. It's like, okay, so we want to play other competitive players, and this is the mode for us. Like, this is what we wanted to do. But the way that they handled it, I don't think they did a good job with that. Because you go over here to, like I said, or like you said, Summoner Duels S, or is it S? What is this? Is Summoner Duels regular? I don't know what to call this.
Yeah, probably regular.
Yeah, so over here we're allowed to actually set the rules however we like, because you can go over here, you can set restrictions on which characters you want to allow, and then you're playing for these rewards, but you have unlimited time basically to do this. So you can just pick your favorite character, do as many matches as you feel like, and then, okay, you want to take a break, then that's fine. Stop playing for however long, and then come back to it on another day. You can keep on climbing. It's a gradual climb, and you're getting all these really good rewards, actually. And then by the time you get to the top, you have all the rewards, and they seem to be increasing favor level at a decent pace, I would say. So these rewards are only going to continue to grow, and you're able to just come back here and just keep playing and reaping the rewards. If you like the mode and you want to keep playing, then by all means, there's no reason why you can stop even if you get to the max favor level. So I think this was a really good idea, and this particular mode itself was implemented really well. But as far as Summoner Duels S goes, and R, well, R is available right now. We'll talk about S in just a second, but this one over here, like, you're only allowed to lose, 3 or 4 times if you have the bonus character on your team. And then after you lose those amount of times, that's it. Like, your run is over. You can't play anymore. So because of that, I think it puts more of a focus on wanting to do well and running like all the meta stuff so you can just keep climbing as high as possible. But when that ends up happening, like, the competition aspect just gets to the point where matches are taking a lot of, I don't know how to say, like, too much mental awareness or like thinking, and the game ends up being too deep, and by the time you finish a fight, you're like exhausted, right? You don't want to do another fight like that, right? So you finish one fight, it's a real slog to get through it, and then you only have 3 days to do all your fights. So of course I'm gonna have to keep on playing if I have a total of 3 or 4 losses left. So this is what I don't like about this mode, is that they want you to keep on playing until you lose. But what if I keep winning? What then? So I'm forced into this infinite nightmare where I have to keep playing this game, and then of course I want to do as good as I can. I want to score as high as I can. So if I'm not losing and I keep winning, then I'm just basically stuck here playing forever, and then like that's it. And they only give you 3 days to do all of that. So for the past couple of seasons, I've actually been playing this mode on the last, like, hour or so, just cramming all the fights into one session, because I'm a busy guy. I don't have forever to play this game, and I play many other games as well, so my spare time is very limited. So for me to, like, just hop into this mode, and then it just takes up, like, all of my free time. That's the end of my day. If I come into this mode and I'm trying to finish a season, I just use all of my time on this, and I really don't want to. And I don't know. I feel like they need to extend the time period. 3 days is certainly not enough for this. It needs to be at least a week or maybe even 2 weeks, I would say, for something like this. Especially if they're going to, for almost no reason at all, lock out Arena Assault while that's up. I feel like Summoner Duels should be up for at least 2 weeks, and then they should not remove Arena Assault either, because this is also a really good mode for the rewards that a lot of people just get for free at this point. Look at this. I'm rank 77. I just did a random run. I didn't put too much thought into it, so I feel like a lot of people are very comfortable with this mode, and the rewards are pretty good. So to take this away for no reason just because Summoner Duels is up, I don't know. I don't get it. Doesn't make sense to me.
Maybe they think we're getting too many rewards, but I feel like the amount of rewards we're getting from Arena Assault is kind of minimal. Like, we already get so many feathers from, like, everything else. Right. And, like, because they keep pumping out, like, a lot of refines, I feel like having the extra refine stones really wouldn't be that big of an issue.
Right. Yeah, actually, that's a good point, because they do so many refines now. It's like we get 6 or 7 per batch at this point, and a lot of people are starved for the refine stones because they want to try to refine all their characters. So, yeah, and to be fair, like, I don't feel like any of the refines have been game-breaking or anything. Of course, select legendary heroes with their remixes have certainly looked much better, like Erica, for example, but I don't know, I feel like most of the time the remixes and the refines are either hit or miss. Sometimes the unit's really awesome, sometimes they aren't. So, yeah, I don't think it would be too much to ask to get more refining stones.
Right. It's not like we're getting, like, Legendary Sigurd the Refine, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so, yeah, one final thing I want to talk about before we get out of here, because I didn't actually talk about this in the other video yesterday. Let's see here. Okay, where is Summoner Duels S? I'm going to have to scroll around to find that, right? But
oh, maybe it's in the update notification.
Oh, good point. Okay,
Unless...
let me check that.
Oh, wait, was that it?
Hold on. Yeah, I think it is in here. Okay, yeah, this is it. Alright, so new event, Summoner Duels S is coming up. Alright, so to start Summoner Duels S, first you need to form a regiment made of 4 teams. So we get 4 possible teams here. I actually made a mistake. I thought it was 5 at first, but no, it looks like we're allowed to make 4 separate teams. So we need 20 heroes in total. So 5 characters per team. You can only use one of the teams in your regiment for the fight. And at the start of the fight, so when matchmaking begins and you get matched up with an opponent, you're going to look at each other's regiments and you're free to veto, let's see here. You can select up to 2 of the opponent's 4 teams to veto. So this is where it gets pretty interesting, and also it gets a little bit more into whale territory, but we'll talk about that in a second. So, okay. Let's take this team, this regiment here, for example. So I'm looking at this, and let's say... Okay, I see Ash is on one team along with Gustav. That's pretty scary. I'm afraid of Ash. Ash is really good. Her jump effect is really good. So let's say I want to veto this team. Okay, then let's keep looking around here. Alright, this team's got Brave Hector and Ninja Lin, 2 very scary units. Also, we got Legendary Lilina. So I'm afraid of this team too. So I'm going to veto these 2 teams here. The second one and the 4th one. So because I did that, my opponent is free to use the 1st or the 3rd teams, and whatever they veto of my teams, I'm going to pick one of those. So it's like they're trying to add another layer of thinking to it, I guess, where you're going to want to like really think about which teams you want to veto and then which teams you want to use yourself. Oh, dude, look at this. They have 2 of the same captain seals here.
Oh, you're right. So I guess they do rotate.
Wow, I was actually thinking you would only be able to use 1 captain seal per team. But it looks like you can use multiples. So,
I do like that. I was kind of hoping that we would be able to select like out of like every captain skill, but I feel like that would have also been way too much to ask, you know?
Yeah. I mean, this actually disappoints me a little because I was thinking maybe people would stop running the quick draw seal, or you would get to a situation where quick draw is not as much of an issue. But I mean, what's stopping people from just running quick draw on all of these teams? That's the bad thing. Oh man. Yeah, so like before we even started the session, I was talking to ZeShado and I was like, oh, so in Summoner Duels S, I got this plan where I'm going to really stack one of my teams so the opponent is going to want to veto it. And I'm not going to put the quick draw seal on that team because I want to use it on a weaker team to give them a bit of a boost. But that already doesn't matter because it looks like you just run quick draw on all these teams if you have it available. So that's kind of a miss, I would say.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so... Oh, you were telling me a strategy you had, too. You want to share that with the folks here?
Oh, yeah, sure. I was thinking on similar terms where, like, you can run Yuri and, like, put a bunch of other weak units, and people will probably look at Yuri and be like, I don't want to deal with Yuri. So they're going to automatically veto it. Even if the Yuri is, like, anti-synergetic with the entire team, you just threw a bunch of units on there for no reason. Uh-huh. Well, within a limit, because if you put, like, level 1s on there, or, like, units with no skills, and they're going to be like, oh, I could just bring this team, take out the Yuri, GG's. But if you make, like, an okay team with Yuri on it, there's a good chance that people are going to just look at it and be like, I don't want to deal with it, veto. And I
Right.
think that's going to be a really smart strategy going forward.
Yeah, so I think that goes into what they were trying to accomplish with this mode, is that... Okay, so there's only like a handful of units that people really use in Summoner Duels. So we have Atri, we got Yuri, Brave Hector, Ascended Fiorm, you got Ash, of course, like Brave Erica, things like that. Those you see on, in some way or form, on most teams. Now, in order to kind of like balance that, they've made it in a way where you can't just run the same exact units over and over again. So we're definitely gonna see a lot more variety as far as which units people are actually using. But in that same regard, this is just giving Wales even more of an edge, I think, because a lot of people have just like stacked their box to build one team or a select set of units. Obviously, if you're not a whale, you're not going to have the money to just dish out perfect fodder, perfect IVs, perfect merges, and like all the best stuff on this many units at a time. You're probably only going to be able to make maybe 1 or 2 teams at best. So if Wales have 4 possible stacked teams, then you're really fighting an uphill battle there, I think.
Oh yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yeah, because they're going to have... Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I was just gonna ask. Do you know if the scoring system or like the stamina system is going to be the same?
Oh, let's find out. Let's see here. I don't believe it says.
I guess we'll find out when the mode comes out.
Yeah, it doesn't say here. Under my first impressions, I would assume it's going to work just like Summoner Duels are, except we're using this brigade style of thing instead of just one team.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe this is the only change. It's just you can veto teams, basically. But yeah,
it's not too bad then.
Yeah, well, as long as they give us more than 3 days to do it, then I don't have a problem, but...
Fair enough, yeah.
Like I said, dude, 3 days is a little too small of a time period for something like this.
Right.
Okay, so I think we gave a pretty good commentary there. That seems like a good enough place to stop. I don't want to like trash on Summoner Duels S too much when it's not even here yet. We haven't even tried it to see how it works, but there you go, guys. I guess that just sums up our thoughts on a little bit of 8th Raids, a little bit of Fire Emblem in general, and then some Summoner Duels stuff. So it's been a blast, man, having you on. You're a lifesaver, too, because Promise was actually supposed to go on with me tonight, but she called in sick, so I had to find a replacement on the spot, and the homie ZeShado was able to put it in, which is awesome. Thanks so much, man.
Yeah, anytime. Anytime you need me on, I'm here.
Yeah, and likewise, too. If you're ever doing a video and you want me on, just let me know, because I'm always available.
Awesome. I'll hit you up whenever the opportunity arises then.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think we gave pretty good commentary here.
Yeah, fully agree.
Okay, so without further ado, that is going to wrap us up for today's 8th Raid session. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Definitely check out ZeShado, by the way. I'm going to leave a link to his channel in the description of this video, so you can go over there and subscribe to him. He's got some awesome showcases, like I said at the start. Very nice edits and very meme-worthy, so you're going to love that stuff. And that's going to wrap us up for today. So this is your boy TACHO signing out. Thanks so much for watching, guys. And I will catch y'all again on the flip side.